in. Come on in. I'm Mr. Wamsted. This is my house. Spooky, right? Reflections everywhere. Good afternoon, y'all. Or good morning, depending on when you're watching this. It's time to talk a little bit more about transformations. Now remember, there are 4 transformations. The translation, the reflection, the rotation, and the dilation. All right? And we're going to do an example of each of those. And I thought we'd do the same example we did the other day. Take that letter R and translate it, reflect it, rotate it, and dilate it. And so here's my R. Notice that it's a donut. Donut R, all right? And the first thing we're going to do is translate it. So let's translate that R from here to here. Notice it's just a slide. Left, right. We could have gone up, down, all right? So a translation is just a slide. Shape stays exactly the same. For our next transformation, the reflection, what we're going to need to do is put it on a coordinate plane, all right? I think that coordinate plane's all over my face now, if I'm not mistaken. We put it on the coordinate plane, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reflect it across the x-axis. Notice that R went from here to here, all right? It went from facing up to facing down. And just like my hand, is almost like it was on a hinge, like it flipped. That's another word for reflection. It reflected across the x-axis. Let's take it back to where it was, all right? So we got our regular R. Let's reflect it across the y-axis. What do you think it's going to look like? Which quadrant is it going to go into if you know the 4 quadrants? Make a prediction. All right, let's see. And that's where it went. So it's a backwards R. My son still writes some of his letters backwards. He's young. It went from here. I'm not sure if my hand's on the R or not, but it went from here to here. It flipped that way. Again, like a hinge or like a book page turning, all right? That's what a reflection across the y-axis looks like. Let's go back to the regular R, all right? And now we're going to rotate it. The word rotate means to spin or to turn. So instead of flipping like this or like this, we're gonna spin it. I can't do my hand quite like that. We're gonna spin it. And we're gonna rotate it 180 degrees, all right? Make a prediction. What's that R gonna look like if I rotate it 180 degrees? Do you know what that means? You might not. It's okay, but you might. Make a prediction. Where's that R gonna end up? Yeah, ends up upside down. But it also ended up in a different quadrant. And why that's true we can talk about later, all right? It didn't just spin where it was, it spun and moved at the same time. But can you see that that R has been spun, all right? So if my thumb gets spun, now it's pointing this way, and oh, it's hard, and now it's pointing that way. Can you see the R is pointing this way here, but it's pointing that way here? It got spun, rotated 180 degrees. All right? Let's take the R back to the coordinate plane. Actually, let's get rid of the coordinate plane. All right? Because the next thing we're going to do, we've translated left, right, or it could have been up, down. We've reflected like a turn. Like flipping a page of a book. And we've rotated, like spinning. Can't do that with my hand. Now we're going to dilate. To dilate means to make something bigger or smaller. All right? And all those other transformations, nothing changed about the size of the shape. Now we're going to make it bigger or smaller, but we're going to keep the shape the exact same size. The exact same shape. What do I mean by that? Let's dilate it, all right? Let's get it bigger. We've got the same shape, but a bigger size, all right? It didn't just get taller. That's not a dilation. It didn't just get fatter. That's not a dilation. It grew and still looks like the same R. So that's the dilation. It got bigger, but it stayed looking exactly the same. It's the same R, all right? And now, let's dilate it and make it smaller. See how little that donut is? But get real close to the camera. And you can see that it's still the same R. It's not just squooshed down. That's not a dilation. It's not just squooshed this way. That's not a dilation, all right? It's got to squoosh down, and it's got to get bigger or smaller, but maintain the same general shape, all right? And those are our 4 transformations. Let me see if I can do them with my hand, all right? So we have the translation, where it just moves. It's not great, but it'll do. We have the reflection, where it flips like a book. We have the rotation, and I'm not going to be able to rotate 180 degrees, we'll just do 90 degrees, all right? We have a rotation where it turns, all right? And then we have the dilation, where it gets bigger or smaller, but it's the same shape. This is a terrible example, but I like it. It gets bigger or smaller, but it's the same shape. And those are the 4 transformations. Let's do an example of what your work's gonna look like. Okay, y'all, so this is gonna be a little bootleg, so I'm just gonna be holding this camera while I talk, all right? But this is where our assignment is gonna be on this app called whiteboard.fi, and we're gonna talk about how to do that. But for right now, let me show you. Your assignment's gonna look a lot like this, all right? We're gonna take an object, this triangle, and we're going to do 2 transformations on it. We're gonna translate it, and we're gonna reflect it. That's all we're gonna do today. To translate it, all right, click on the circle tool, like I did, and come down here, and start at this corner or vertex, and since we're going 3 units down, we count 1, 2, 3 units down, and we draw a little circle. Come up here, and this is weird, you have to come back and click circle again. Come here, and go 1, 2, 3 units down, draw a little circle, come back and click, and come here, and go 3 units down, and draw a little circle, all right? And now we'll connect those circles with a line. All right, let's see if I can get this to work pretty well. Right there. Trying to do this with... Oh, don't do that. Uh-oh, it's messing up. Hold on, let me hit pause for a sec. All right, I'm back. I figured it out. All right, you have to come back up here and click line again. Every time you have to re-click it. So we're gonna draw a line from here to here. All right, then we have to come back up here and click line. Oh, all right, and we're gonna draw a line from here to here. But once we do, a little bit of experimentation. Look, we have 2 triangles and they're identical, but they've been translated 3 units down. That's pretty cool. All right, let's reflect this triangle across the x-axis, all right? The x-axis, remember, is this line right here. So we're gonna take this triangle and we're gonna flip it down, all right? We're gonna flip it down. This is easy also. Let's get my circle tool, all right? And now this time, watch how we do, oh, I didn't grab the circle tool. Let's grab the circle tool and watch how we do this, all right? We're going to start at this point, and however far it is from the x-axis on this side is however far it has to be on this side. So if we go 1, 2 right here, we're gonna go 1, 2 right here and put a circle. Why did it not appear? Let's try again. It's too small, I think. Huh. I don't know why my circle won't appear. Let's try one more time. That is really annoying. Let's see if I can change to a triangle, change to a circle, come back here. This is all a learning experience right here. And it will not appear. All right, hold on. Technical difficulties. Let's pause again. All right, I'm back, and this is what I figured out is for some reason they're weird about small circles sometimes. I don't know why. All right, but we're gonna keep going with the best we can. All right, I had to draw a big circle, and I'm going to just move it. All right, it used to be, can you hear my son screaming? It used to be 2 above. Now we're gonna go 2 below. All right, I'm gonna grab this circle real quick. And this one right here used to be 1, 2, 3, 4 above. Now I go 1, 2, 3, 4 below. And I'm gonna grab this circle. And this circle used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 below. All right, and you can see the new triangle shape. Let's finish it out. with a line. Oh, let's come down here. This is not the easiest thing to film. We got a line. Hopefully it doesn't disappear. Remember, we have to come back up and click a line again. This is not the best app in the world, but it'll do. Come over here and click a line. All right, and draw that line. And come up here and click a line. Okay. And boom, there you go. And so what you can see is that this triangle has been reflected to get to this triangle. It's been, ooh, that was cool. I forgot I had a touch screen. Let me clear this off. What is going on? Why just duplicate? Holy cow, that is not what I wanted to do. This is so funny. This is such a funny app. Let's see if I can grab this thing and get rid of it. Okay, there we go. That was fun. We'll figure this app out as we go. There are some things that are good about it, which you'll see. So you can see, let's not touch it, that this triangle up here, my original triangle, all right, like a hand, has been flipped so that it used to point down towards the origin, and now it points up towards the origin. So we did two things. We took this original little gray triangle and we translated it 3 units down. Looks the exact same, just got shifted. And then we took this original gray triangle and we flipped it. It's the same triangle. It's actually the same triangle. It's just now, instead of pointing one direction, it's pointing another direction. It's been reflected. All right? You're going to do this exact same thing. You're going to take a shape, you're going to translate it, and you're going to reflect it. And you're going to go do it right now. Right now.